Hello, welcome to a new video. If you are new here, my name is Amandine. I've been living in Singapore for almost 5 years now, and on this channel I like to share about anything that's happening in Singapore. It's been 3 months since I've applied for PR. My application is still pending and I have gotten no news from ICA. No news is better than bad news, but it doesn't mean that I cannot get some pointer on whether it's going to be approved or rejected. That's why I'm going to go meet E&H Immigration consultancy for them to review my profile and get some of the answer you might be looking for also if you're planning on applying for PR soon.
Hi, Amandine. I'm Tien, and this is my colleague Rachel. We're from E&H Immigration. We are specialists in helping people get permanent residency and citizenship in Singapore.
Would you like to share with us what's your profile like? What are you currently working and how long you've been in Singapore, whether you're married?
So I'm coming from France. I've been in Singapore for almost 5 years now. Currently I'm working as a software engineer in a real estate data company. I have a local boyfriend, but I'm trying to get PR on my own. I don't know if it matters or not.
Usually family ties is one of the main considering factors. We do have different schemes for people that are married to a local spouse. So the spouse would sponsor your application, but I understand that right now your full attention is to apply on your own merits. In terms of length of residency, you have been here for at least 5 years. That's good. And you are a developer, which is a very good industry to be in. Eventually down the line, you are very young. You will get married and potentially even think of giving birth in Singapore. The young demographic in Singapore tend to have the second highest chance of approval, and then the highest would be from 40 to 55. That's also because they have longer time to build up their contributions to Singapore as well. So maybe you can share more about if there is any specific project that you did that contributed to your company or holistically in Singapore.
We are working with developers and we are providing them with data that is supposed to help them make better decisions when it comes to building apartments. In my PR application that I did by myself, I did mention that I was working in this company, but is IC gonna dig deeper?
Can I check if you submitted any supporting documents with your application?
How do we submit supporting documents?
There was no area for you to submit the PR supporting documents,
Yes.
which is why specialists like us, we come in and we have the know-hows. What we usually recommend is to get promotion salary letters, letters of endorsement from your bosses, and the official certificate of employment. It's not too late. You can definitely update IC along the way as your profile changes. And what we have done for our clients is we provide them specific template that's recognized and it will get the attention of the officers straight away. It's important because, for example, if somebody moved to a new house or somebody changed employment, it's crucial for them to update ICA. We've had cases where they changed jobs, where they had a salary cut and they did not update ICA, and that was the result of their rejection.
Maybe just talk a bit more about, since your time in Singapore, like what you've been doing within the community.
I mean, creating my videos, but I don't think ICA will really take that into account. So also on the side, so I tried donation, volunteering through Singapore Organized Organization.
I don't think ICA would trace directly from the website. What we will do is we will extract some form of documentation.
It's not enough to just do it.
No.
You have to report it so that it counts.
It's mostly about getting the information together in one centralized location and then giving it to ICA, so to make their job easier when they look at your profile. Because sure, they have access to all the other data at the other agencies, but the harder it is for them to go out and get this information, the longer it is going to take for them to process your application and get approved.
What do you recommend usually, like, people to do to prove that they are involved within the community?
Red Cross is a really good organization we work with, and they have a really good system for tracking the work you've done with them. And then other stuff, if you're actively involved with your local church, people within that community you are actively working with, that can then also vouch for you through testimonial, a letter of recommendation, that will add more weight to your submission.
You can even offer mentoring services. The idea here of how ICA sees your integration in Singapore is what you contribute philanthropically and for nation building. So perhaps you can consider writing articles for your area of expertise, or you can mentor students who are currently NUS or NTU. So some people might be questioning whether or not small donations. I just started a few months ago and I submit my PR application. Would ICA know that I'm doing this just for the PR application? Put it bluntly, yes, and you're not the only person in Singapore doing that. But what matters is, although it's a small contribution, but if you do it diligently from your heart, you are supporting a cause in Singapore for the greater good. Usually I would recommend people that have been submitting donations for at least 1 year, then they are on a very good note. But if you are just starting out like yourself, I would say that volunteering your time is much more valuable. Shall we talk about the weaknesses that we have noticed in your case?
Yes.
So, the lack of additional supporting documents to substantiate who you are as a person is one of the main factors. Number 2 is because you would probably find it a little bit different from where you come from in France. There might be a culture shock, and also the lack of showcasing social integration is one. The lack of family ties is also one.
If you are coming from surrounding Asian country, then you have higher chance of getting PR.
Majority of the people applying are from neighboring countries. I would safely say at least 80 to 90%. The pool of Europeans or from other nationalities may significantly be smaller. So it's very difficult for you to hear along the streets that, oh, I'm a European and I finally got my PR. There is no discrimination in terms of the race, but one thing for sure is I do believe Singapore has a quota in terms of the races that they approve.
Do you have any investments?
You are looking at whether people can support themselves through retirement. My plan, I put 15K per year. So even at my age, it matters.
Yeah.
And it also shows you as a person, your characteristic and your foresight, and to take care of your own financial needs.
Is regular saving plan, like, does it count? Like, I have also like just a saving plan with UOB. I put like about 1.2K per month.
Because Singapore is expensive. When you save, it's actually a very good thing for you to eventually afford a house in Singapore.
I heard that there is a big percentage of applications that are being rejected for like silly mistakes.
Some common errors is when the form asks you to list responsibilities and you put in too much technical jargons. For example, I specialize in C++, Java and HTML. A normal processing officer wouldn't be able to understand that. Clear, concise and easy to understand job responsibilities is also very important. Improper documents could be also a reason for rejection. It can potentially be you've already crossed over to the last stage of assessment, but when they do background checks, for example, they realize that, oh, this person's birth certificate was not actually notarized by the Singapore Academy of Law. It will just give an ICA the reason to think that if you are not able to give me the proper documentations, then I would have to check through everything in your application thoroughly.
When you apply also does matter. So I think, like we've noticed at the start of the year, there's a lot of interest in people searching for PR applications, citizenship applications, which means the competition then is also more intense. Like toward the end of the year, it tends to be better because people are on holidays and focus on other stuff. So you have a slightly better edge in terms of timing.
So when we go to an agency, is the process different?
So we will serve as your accountability partner. That's one, and we will make sure that we will analyze thoroughly what went wrong if you were rejected. Ultimately, we will definitely save your time. A normal person that have not engaged a service like us usually take at least 100 hours of preparation time, and we will definitely reduce your chances of being rejected through improper documentation, errors in the application form.
So we would work with the client and go through quite in depth with the client profile. After analyzing your profile, we'll strategize to strengthen the weak parts of your profile.
We also do provide letters of recommendation templates, and we also do draft a cover letter, and we will also work with you to strengthen your profile. So maybe we will take about 1 to 2 months of preparation work so that we make sure that you have a strong case before you submit your application. Once all of that is done, we would go through the submission together, and we will also work with you post-submission, no matter the outcome. 2 months processing time, and ICA can take as fast as 6 months, but the longest that I've seen is 18 months of processing time. So that's generally a good sign. The longer it is, the better.
There is no point coming to you and saying, oh, can we appear together? We are just going to do a new application.
We do offer services such as appeal applications, fresh applications. We also do paid review for people that have drafted everything and have all the documents ready, and they would like just professional eyes to guide them through. So we offer quite a lot of services available to cater to different needs of clients.
But yeah, I think ultimately, if you come back to us and you've had a rejection and you come to us, we will discuss whether time is a big factor for you. If not, then we might suggest that we put a new submission, because I think you may not have done everything as optimally as possible. So then, a fresh start tends to be better in that case to have the best outcome.
I think there are some people out there that are in the process of applying for PR. So do we have like last words of advice for them?
That Texas journey will obviously be quite overwhelmed initially when they go through the ICA website and look at what you need to put together. If you're a bit hesitant and scared the first time, come to an agency like us, because we've done it so many times. We know what to look out for, what not to do. We just reduce the stress for you, essentially. I think it's natural for people to try and apply for themselves first. Obviously, when people look at the costs, they think, why not just try myself first? So then they'll, I won't say likely, but quite often they won't succeed the first or second or third time. Then they'll get more professional advice.
If I get rejected another time, I think that's gonna be what I will have to do.
It's a long journey, but you will eventually get there.
I hope so. So thank you so much.
Okay, thanks for coming.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Mandy.
much for watching. And I hope this video was really insightful for you. I really wanted to give you a different point of view about PR, because I cannot only share my own experience. If you have liked the video, make sure that you put a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.